With everyone, welcome back to my sitting room. My name is Diesel, and you are, as always, most welcome. Sorry for the continuously flashing tree. Actually, I'm not sorry. I love my tree. It's flashy and it's amazing. But I do apologise for the angle, the lighting, and the fact that you might move a bit. You're balanced precariously on my lap. It's Christmas time, obviously, so it's a bit harder to film a video recently, which is why you haven't seen a lot of me. But tonight, oh, you just slipped towards me. You came closer like an embrace. Tonight I'm having kind of a depressive low, and things that make me feel better include talking to you guys about books, talking to you guys in general, but also talking to you about books. So I figured that's what we would do, even though the setup is shitty and the lighting just constantly changes. Well, at least we know production hasn't improved. You guys, I figured it out. I have figured out why the lighting keeps changing. Because the tree keeps changing. Common sense would have told us this before, but like I said, my production skills are not going to change. Today we're going to be discussing Everything by Nicola Yoon. It's Yoon. Everything is Nicola's debut novel. It is about 17-year-old Madeline, who has a very strange life. Madeline is basically allergic to everything. She's allergic to the outside world. She doesn't know what her triggers are. She could literally be allergic to anything at any time, which, as you can imagine, is quite inconvenient. She's so allergic to things that she actually hasn't been able to leave her house basically her whole life. Her whole universe consists of living in her house, being taken care of by her mom and her nurse, and sometimes the tutors that come in and out to see her, but that's very rare. She spends her time reading and designing things and playing board games with her mom because she literally cannot go outside. And then something very special happens. A family moves into the house next door, and Madeline's life is basically turned upside down, and she develops a very complicated relationship with a young man next door. So, the first interesting thing about this book is it is written in quite an unusual way. The story parts are pretty straightforward, but there's also things like emails thrown in, drawings, there's lots of illustrations, not illustrations as in like storybook type illustrations, but things that Madeline is supposed to have drawn, which really adds to the authenticity, whoa, that was hard to say, of the whole experience, because Madeline is telling you the story and you are living the life that she is living, and you're really experiencing it along with her by the things that she says and how she communicates with the world, and that is through computer, that is through drawing and designing things, and it's pretty cool. There's banging outside. Maybe we're being robbed. So, thoughts and opinions. Well, the first thing I need to tell you is I liked this book. I didn't love it, but I liked it. The characters in it are all really enjoyable. The mother, the nurse, Madeline herself, the boy whose name I can't freaking remember. They're all good characters. They all have interesting dynamics. They have really good backstories. You get to know all of the characters in some capacity. Not like personally. You don't like follow them. None of them tell you their side of the story. You find it out through Madeline, but what I did find I really enjoyed. The whole concept of the book was what really interested me. A girl who is allergic to everything, who can't go outside. How would that even work? How would you meet people? How would you go places you wanted to go? What would you do all day? And the book does really have an interesting like dialogue on that life. For a while it was kind of slow. It was very much based around this relationship. It's not just based on this romantic relationship, but that's a big part of it, and I'm not really into romance. I can tolerate it if it's in like an action story or something, but obviously in this it's not. So there was kind of a few times where I was like, oh, I just want this to end, and then this particular thing happens and you're just like, okay, this is so cliche, and I kind of understood what was going to happen. But then what saved this whole book was, and obviously I can't tell you, but there's this massive plot twist which completely spun the book around, and I understand why it had to be waited for, but it just like saved the whole book experience for me. It turned this book from a, oh, I wouldn't really recommend it, to, yeah, I actually think I would recommend this book. I would have liked it to continue on a bit longer after the plot twist, although I'm not really sure technically what could have gone on. But it was just, that was the most interesting part, I think. Well, I mean, the fact that Madeline's allergic to everything all of the time was also interesting, but this plot twist then really stepped it up a notch. The writing style of it is, oh, I told you about that already. See, I'm losing my mind. So, would I recommend this book? Yes, I think it's worth a shot. Obviously not if you're into action and adventure, but still a good read, an amazing plot twist, and just an interesting concept. That's it. That's all I have to say. As always, Greg Mott, good for coming. And mainly thanks, actually, if you've made it this far. Thanks for just sitting here and letting me ramble. Like you said, it's not really that good of a mental health night, and sometimes I just need to be able to speak, and I understand completely that this video was quiet and not bubbly, and there's no weird puns in it, and it really seems like I didn't try, but I just appreciate the fact that you let me talk, and that was awesome. Thank you. So if I don't see you until after Christmas, I hope you have a really happy holiday season, no matter what you celebrate or don't celebrate. And if I do see you before Christmas, if things are a bit brighter, then I hope to have a pun-filled, excellent, good time, better lighting, better setup working for you here. Slán.